Artlist.io.
Alright, hey, Scrapper Names fans, how are we all? Bit of a different intro there, I hope we like it. I've got to fiddle with it, but anyway, I'm up with my design team challenge for this week, and it's going to be my kind of Challenge Tuesday video as well, so double whammy. I'm doing a Project Life spread with the theme being summer fun, and this was absolutely perfect while I'm trying to finish scrapping our epic holiday from the beginning of the year. So I'm sure you've seen plenty of layouts at the moment of me scrapping this holiday, but yes, here is another one. So this was a day at the local beach as such to my sister-in-law and brother-in-law's place, and it's kind of really quiet, and it was perfect for the kids, and it was on the last day before I think it was Australia Day actually. It was just before we left. It was absolutely stunning. It was an immaculate day. It was hot, it was beautiful and calm. There wasn't heaps of people. We got to go out in the little kayak thing, and yeah, it was absolutely awesome. So I'm using a mix of a couple of different little kits and things that I had got along the way here to do this spread. I'm using an old Scrapping Fun kit, an old, I think it's December last year's Kitaholic kit. Say that 50 times fast. And I actually am using a Corbett Creations wood veneer pack from the beginning of the year. I think she did one up for the whole summer holidays and everything. So for those of you obviously not in Australia, our summer holidays are at the beginning of the year, so December, January and February, when you guys over in the States are usually having your freezing cold winters. So yes, so at the moment we're in winter months. It's nearly over, thank God, because it's been absolutely freezing here where I'm in Canberra, and yes, so it is really cold and I'm a bit over it now, so bring on the warmer months, I say. So yes, so I'm using a mix of different kits with all different sort of the yellows and the soft pinks and pastels and blues and things like that, all those beautiful summer colours and themes and whatnot. So yeah, so I've got some, as I said, I'm embellishing pretty much all the photos and cards and whatnot. And I'm also using one of the Project Life core kits. I think it's the Better Together one, a couple of cards from that to fill in the blanks spots in this pocket page. So there's the second photo. I think the first photo got a bit trimmed of that, but you'll see it in the close-ups anyway, which was just a photo of myself and my stepdaughter, and I had trimmed it down and around the page and stuck it a Project Life card and embellished it a little bit with, as I said, you'll see it, it's the bottom left, you'll see it in the close-ups. I'm still getting used to the editing a little bit and trying to add some different elements to it now, so just adding some music and fun things, so bear with me while I try and make it a little bit more interesting for you. All right, so on to the next photo of me and my son. He's just come out of the water by the looks of it in the kayak. Just add some thin washi there that's from one of the Scrapping Fun kits, and some of the little tiny words that were from the Kitaholic kit, as well as the tiny stars. There was a lot of these in this kit that month because I've got them all left over and they're all scattered next to me in my desk. And just adding some little pops of colour here, of the pink and the blue with these little stars. It was almost a very monochromatic, could have been a very monochromatic spread to be. There was so much blue with the skies, the blue sky in so much of the photos, as well as the colour of what most of us were wearing. It really could have just been an all blue, but in saying that, it also led to being able to add in a lot of other colours I found, like this yellow, pops of yellow and pink and whatnot, so it worked well. I thought it was a nice bright summery looking spread at the end. So these two little pieces down the bottom I've pulled in from the lovely Inky Quill Patreon printables that were from May, I think, where she did her travel themed ones. This is like a little stamp type piece, and then there's a little word phrase piece here as well. So I've just popped that stamp one up on some foam just to give a bit of dimension and interest to this photo. And these little heart stickers just from Flutter Designs. Just adding some little tiny pops of colour, and all good there. So as usual, it is my team's week this week over on the Use Your Stuff blog. And if you haven't been over and had a look, I will link them in the description box. Jump on over and have a look at this week's challenge and get your kit out, or get your stash out, and give it a whirl. If you've got some summer photos, especially us Aussies who are in the midst of winter, get some summer photos out just to get you all warmed up. If you've got some lying around like I have, and get scrapping with those, or even, you know, if you do a card or whatever you might use, and, you know, get in amongst it, as I say. Now this is one of those cards from the Better Together kit. And again, I was able to bring in, because it was almost like a very could have almost been a very monochromatic spread. I also was able to then bring in a whole heap of other colours I found. So I was able to bring in some pinks, almost red sort of colours. You know, I had the blues, some yellow, all those sorts of things, which made it really awesome to make it a really great, bright, summer coloured type theme spread. So this card was really good for that too. The ribbon I've got here is from the Scrapping Fun Kits summer kit that I got. I think it might have been December. It might have been December's kit. As I said, it was from last year or early this year. That's how long they've been in my stash. So trying to use it up when I came across, I thought, perfect. This is going to be awesome on this one. And these acrylic little arrows, whatever you call it, and the shell are all from the Corbett Creations pack I said I brought earlier in the year as well. Just wanted to embellish this card just a little bit. It looked a little bit flat for me. I was in one of those moods of everything needed to be embellished. Do you ever have one of those moods where you just go, yep, I'm going all out for this? Plus, as I said, I had brought this Corbett Creations pack knowing that we were going on holidays, and I wanted to use it when I would finally get around to scrapping all these photos. I knew that I was going to have a heap. So I knew I wanted to use them on these layouts. So yeah, so that was, I guess, my reasoning for embellishing, going nuts with it. I added a doodly border here just because it looked a little bit flat at the top there. It looked not flat, but looked a little bit boring. But I didn't want to add anything really above the speech bubble. So I thought, why not just add a doodly border, brought it all in, just added just a little bit of something else to it. So, and done. And this one's nice and simple. It's just a photo of my daughter and my brother-in-law. He's teaching her how to fish, and it was absolutely precious. It was gorgeous. She just loved him teaching her how to fish. Not that I think she caught anything, but it was still gorgeous. So just using a little label from my previous Kitaholic kit, as I said. And then I'm just going to adhere some of that pink ribbon that I had left to it as well. Just using some of the same elements as from the kits as well, just to tie in across the spread. It's a really busy spread with all the photos in it, and just making sure it all, ties together quite well. You can obviously see, I guess it is from the same day, but it's all different photos of different happenings. There's selfies, and then there's this one, and they're in the kayak and things like that. So, yeah, I just thought it added a bit of cohesiveness for me. I like that with my spreads. And another little 3x4 photo of the kids in the water, just chilling out. I was debating whether or not to add anything to these little photos, but I thought, as I said, why not? Was in the mood to go nuts with embellishing, and that's what I did. So I add a wood veneer here, and it just says, I think it says soaking up the rays or catching the rays or something like that. And I'm just adding those with, and then adding just a bit of bling with some sequins. And all done. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. And that blue hot air balloon is sitting there because I was going to try and use it because it's a larger element, and I thought I want to get it out of my stash here. I wasn't going to work on this layout, all this spread, so I just went, nah. This card's also from that Better Together core kit I said, and I've just added the word getaway down the underneath, as you can see. And I'm just adding this acrylic swimming cozy. I thought, why not? I was going to add another wood veneer phrase, and then it didn't fit, and I just thought, no. I wasn't going to add any journaling too much to this because it will go into the family album with a whole heap of other photos, but I thought, why not? So I'm just using my Pitt pen or Texta just to add some larger journaling because I don't have a lot to write, and added a doodly border just to match in with that other 3x4 filler card, and done. Oh, no, not done. Sorry, I do add a bit of bling to this. And I did fight with these a little bit. They were so, usually things lose their adhesiveness. I'm certain that because they've been sitting in my stash, they became more adhesive, these little gems, rhinestones. Oh my God, they were a challenge to get off when I did this. So yes, that was fun. But nonetheless, I managed to get them off. And this is the last photo, I think, for the spread, and the last one I do. And it's just adding some yellow ribbon there just to tie in that colour. Another wood veneer piece from that Corbett Creations pack that says Ride the Waves. And I was a little bit stumped as to whether or not I needed to add something either side. To me, it did. It needs something, and I do add some elements to either side of this. Not too much because I don't want to take away from the photo. So I add, here's some of those Patreon Inky Quill printables that I was talking about. So I add a camera that was there, fussy cut one of those out, pop it up on some craft double-sided foam tape. That's what it is, just to give some more dimension there. And I think I did that with a couple of things, not too many on this spread actually. I think I might have missed telling you that in some of them. And I think on the other side of this Ride the Waves, I add an acrylic piece, and I debated whether or not to add a few or just one. I ended up adding just the one. So as I said, there'll be some close-ups at the end of my spread. Leave me any comments or questions if you've got any. And as I said, if I'm trying to play around with my videos a little bit in regards now to trying to make them a little bit more jazzed up and a bit more interesting. So bear with me a little bit with the musical interludes and whatnot as I try and play around with them a little bit. So, but I hope you've enjoyed this Project Life process video. Said this is for the Use Your Stuff Summer Fun Challenge, which is happening this week over on the blog. I'll link it in the description box. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and this will also be my video for the Challenge Tuesday, my usual Challenge Tuesday. All right, see you next time. Bye guys.